God intends sex to exist within marriage. God hardwired our physical, anatomical, male and female bodies to enjoy pleasure and to cause us to desire one another within marriage. That means that lust, by definition, is morally neutral. Lust is a strong, passionate desire, a yearning for pleasure. And that can be a very good thing within marriage. If your lust is for your spouse, you desire your spouse, you long for your spouse, you enjoy your spouse, you delight in your spouse, you yearn for your spouse, well, that's a perfectly holy and good thing. But lust in its negative sense is lusting for a person or a thing or an experience outside of God's boundaries of marriage. Jesus says that lust in its sinful form is ultimately rooted in the deception of the heart, the center of who we are. Jesus says in Matthew 5 that it is a sin to commit adultery, but in addition to that, to lust in your heart is to commit adultery in your heart. And so lust is the problem, sinful lust, which leads to sinful activity. All sex outside of heterosexual marriage is by God's own decree from Genesis to Revelation unholy and forbidden. That would include homosexuality, bestiality, bisexuality, fornication, adultery, rape, polygamy, pornography, prostitution, friends with benefits, pedophilia, and incest. All of that is lust in a depraved way, working itself towards sin rather than marriage. And some of you are here and you're immediately thinking, well, I do something not on that list. Does that mean I'm okay? No, you're a pervert and you are condemned as well. Okay? And in the New Testament, God anticipated perverts. And so when speaking of sexual immorality, which is the English translation, the Bible uses the Greek word porneia, which is a junk drawer term that means any and all kind of sexual sin. God knew that if He made a big list and put all the sexual sins on it, someone eventually, somewhere, would invent something else, thinking they were the exception clause, and you're not. God has a junk drawer that just says sexual immorality. Whatever it is you are doing, it falls into that category.